Today, we're going to talk about why you struggle with discipline. Have you ever wondered why you commit to something, whether it is your reboot, whether it is a boundary, whether it is something you're going to do for your finances, whether it's something you're going to do for your self care, like meditation, whether it's something you're going to do for your health, like a diet, like going to the gym consistently? But every single week, something happens. Or every couple of months, something happens and you're just through with it. You feel that you don't have what it takes. You're unable to go year after year in your life doing the thing you said you were going to do with consistency. You only have a history of starting things, doing them for a little bit, and not being a finisher. It just drops off somewhere. And that's it. It's just your entire life. It's not just with your reboot, by the way. Some of you are thinking about your sexual behavior right now. But the truth is that this is happening in multiple areas of your life. I'm not going to talk much about your work because many of you here think you are disciplined with work. The truth is you have no choice. You've locked yourself in. You already have kids. You already have a mortgage. You have no choice but to show up. And that's part of the reason why you're unhappy and medicating your unhappiness with pornography. You're not disciplined. Some of you get really good at it. Just like, you know what, I'm disciplined with work. No. Many of you don't have a choice but to show up to work. So we're going to talk about that. Now, I'm not great at many things. I'm not the smartest guy out there. I sucked in school. I sucked in college. I sucked at, like, from kindergarten all the way up. Never good at academics. But one thing that I am good at is being disciplined. I have stuck with certain things year after year after year after year. I am stubborn as fuck. I do not give up. I do not quit. I do not give a fuck what people say. I am disciplined to a fault. One of the things I've learned as I've gotten older is that I can be so focused on things, so determined to make them happen, so regimented sometimes in my ability to do things day in, day out, that I end up hurting others around me. I end up neglecting many other things. But fortunately, I've learned how to have a circle around me, people who are there for me to stay accountable to. People who are there to remind me that, hey, dude, you got to take your foot off the gas pedal. So I have people around me that help me do that. But that's one thing I know a thing or two about. So let's talk about that. For those of you who think of discipline in terms of behavior, that's the reason why you're struggling. You're trying to discipline your behavior. But the truth is that you have to discipline your thoughts before you discipline your behavior. When people join the Porn Reboot system, they hear a lot of talk about self-awareness. They're confused. They're like, what? I got to write out my feelings and figure out what my feelings are and get to know that. I got to write out my urges. I got to stick with my everything that happens. It seems like it's always internal. You guys don't seem to make the external things a big deal because many of you show up in the program and you're thinking about the external. Oh, my filter, the device, the woman out there, the porn out there, the thing that triggered me, everything is external to you. And then you show up to the program and we keep pushing you back inside. We keep reminding you that you are the filter and you are the deterrent. And you're confused, but eventually you'll come to learn. And that's because everything starts with your thoughts. Oh, there's this device out there that's triggering me. Oh, I watched pornography on my physical phone, on my computer, on my Apple TV, on whatever. It happened in your head first. It was a thought, but you are so busy trying to discipline your behavior. Oh God, what do I do when I have a strong urge and I'm edging? What do I do? Even the nature of your question is focused externally. You want to know what you can do behaviorally, but you have to change your mindset to discipline your thoughts first. So how do you do this? I'm going to share 3 simple ways with you. The first thing is, this is going to sound simplistic, but it works. We're here to make things simple and basic for you so you can take action. You have to know exactly what you want before you can begin to discipline your thoughts. Many of you are trying to discipline your behavior, but you don't know exactly what you want. This entire year, we could say that the theme of this year at Porn Reboot has been defining your reboot, has been knowing what you want out of this journey. Most guys I speak to, very just random, so that I can be the best man I can possibly be. So that I am hardworking, so that I am a great husband. So what? None of that shit makes any sense. What exactly do you want? What is sexual control to you over a period of a year? What does that look like? What is being a good husband? What is an example? What is a scenario that right now you are failing in as a result of your behavior? And what does it look like? What does your relationship look like? What does a day look like? What is the scenario that changes? You need to know what it is that you want before you can go about trying to discipline anything, before trying to change your behavior. The second thing is you need to know why you want it. I am not talking about a purpose. A purpose is still a luxury as far as I'm concerned. But you need to know why you want that thing. Why do you want to end this behavior? So many guys are like, "Oh, I don't know what's happening. I feel absolutely apathetic. I I don't feel motivated. I've forgotten why I'm in this program anyway." You know why? Because you're so busy focusing on the behavior. It's a lazy way of thinking. That's the truth. It's the truth. You're unwilling to make the effort to go back into your thoughts. Your thoughts are undisciplined. Therefore, they got distracted. Your thoughts went off your reboot, off your goal, off what you wanted because you did not have a why. Why are you doing this? I don't know, man. I just don't know, dude. I don't know anymore, bro. I don't. Is it possible for you to not know anymore? No, you know why you're doing this, but you need to know clearly why you're doing it. Let me give you guys a concrete example. I was ending my behavior because I was sick and tired of being a loser. I was a loser in everything, every aspect of my life, emotionally out of freaking control, out of control, always emotional extremes, depression, extreme excitement and happiness, followed by bad decisions, which led back to depression. Mentally gone, negative self talk on loop, literally walking through my campus, walking through a store, walking through work, telling myself what a piece of shit I was. I would literally walk around and people would laugh, and I would find a way to make it about me. They were laughing at me. They were laughing at me because I'm ugly, because I'm weird, because I'm this and that. That was my life year after year after year. People don't like me. Oh, that person is frowning when they came up to me for work or whatever. Oh, it must be because of me. I remember so clearly. I think it was my first, probably my second year selling door to door. I remember calling my mom because my day was a wrap at like 9 a.m. I had been driving and I heard someone honk, and they honked at me because I think I was fucking around on my phone and I didn't see that the light had turned green. And so I drove forward and I looked in my rearview mirror. There were two men in the car behind me, and they turned to each other and they were laughing. And then one of them pointed at me. And then that was it. That was it. We just kept driving and I went. But for me, for the next few minutes, I couldn't stop thinking about that. I thought that they said something about me. I thought that I was like, man, I'm fucked up, man. They said something about me. I don't know what it was, but it's probably because I'm a piece of shit and always distracted. That's how bad my self-talk was. I was always at the bottom when it came to our sales numbers. Always zero or negative, owing the company money. My relationships sucked. I had friends that hung out with me, but I had a negative reputation among them. I was known for lying. I was known for exaggerating. I was also not a very pleasant person to be around because I always talk shit. Always. When I say talk shit, I mean I was always criticizing people. Let me give you guys another example so you'll understand where I came from. There were a group of us as friends, and one of them was a girl, Sophia, and this was in our freshman year at Wichita State. Sophia ended up losing her virginity to this guy, and we were all friends, Secretly, we probably all wanted to have sex with Sophia because, well, those are the type of guys we were, like friend-zoned completely. And she had sex with this guy, and then she lost her virginity, and she ended up telling us. And so we were just like, oh, cool, whatever, even though we were feeling very jealous. Well, let me not speak for the other guys. I'll speak for myself. I was feeling very jealous because I was in the friend zone trying to get with her. Then a few weeks later, he broke up with her. Now, of course, at that point, I didn't know that this is college stuff. People get together, break up, everything. And, she came and she was crying and she was hanging out with all of us in I and my my roommate's room, and she was crying about it. And, the guys were like, these things happen and so on and so forth. And I was like, that piece of shit, how could he take your virginity and just leave you? I was like, he took your virginity. Like, literally, this is what I was saying. And I remember they all looked at me. There were two guys, I won't say their names, but they all looked at me, including Sophia. Actually, fuck it, I'll say their names. Fad and Nico. Fad was from Morocco. Nico was French. And Sophia, they looked at me. They were like, what is wrong with you? And I was so adamant. I started talking shit about him. I was this is how lost I was. It had nothing to do with that. It was just stuff that my loser mind, my insecurities, my nice guy nature, those were the only things that I could focus on. Not this lady here who was sad because of a breakup, who I was supposed to be her friend. All these things started adding up. And eventually I realized that, wow, I am a big fuck up. I refused to be that. I was done. I realized that there was a version of myself that was very different from this. I don't know how. I thank the gods or whatever that I had the self-awareness to know that I could be better. Because I would at least go back and I would think about things. I'd be like, well, okay, that was a fucked up thing to say. Why did I say that? Why do I do things like that? Why do I think like this? I spent a lot of time alone. This gave me the opportunity to reflect. And so I created a version of myself that was completely different. A version that was jacked. A version that was doing well financially. A version that was living a specific type of lifestyle. A version that was serving others, that was doing things with a good conscience and not taking, but always giving more. I created that. But at the same time, I was running away from who I was in that moment. I was scared that I would be that type of guy in my 30s and in my 40s. Now, when you're in your early 20s, 30s and 40s seems old as fuck. And so when you see somebody in their 30s and 40s who you feel for whatever reason, or you judge them to be unsuccessful, it's just like, man, that guy, like, he must have fucked his life up. I would see that sometimes in people being judgmental, but that's what I was doing. But I would not want to be there. So I knew my why. What's your why? So the first thing is you need to know what you want. The second thing is you need to know why you want it. And the final thing is you need to be able to focus on number one and number two relentlessly, over and over and over again. You're laser focused. If something distracts you, you immediately pull your focus back to it. Let's say you want to end your out of control behavior because it is causing you to feel negative about yourself. It is causing you low self-esteem, and that is preventing you from going out into the world and doing the things you know you should do. Maybe you know you should go out there and build up your body. Maybe you know you should go out there and get a side hustle, start a second business, start investing. Maybe you know you should leave the partner you're with because your relationship is dead in the water. Whatever it is, you know what you want. You have to write it down. Literally, pen to paper. What is it exactly that you want? I want to end my out of control behavior so that ... This is what self-control looks like. This is what control of my sexual behavior looks like to me. Not something crazy. I've talked that we have enough episodes of this podcast where I've talked about what's unrealistic. I've said it over and over again. Some guys won't listen. Some guys would be like, I never want to look at another woman lustfully ever again. I never want to masturbate ever again. That's stupid. You cannot do that. You are a biological creature. And if you keep going back to that ridiculous definition of control, you will not end your behavior. Write out what you want. And if you're not sure, get on a call with me. Get on a call with the Reboot strategists. Go into our groups and be like, guys, what is sexual control to you guys? Let me get some ideas. Get into our free Facebook group and do that. Why do you want it? I want it because I do not want to spend the next decade in an unhappy relationship. I want it because I do not want to be single. I'm already 29 years old and I had a bad relationship that ended when I was 24, 25. And I've been scared as shit for the past couple of years. I don't want to be afraid anymore. I want it because I don't want to end up like my father, like my mother. I don't want to be a nobody. I want to have a legacy. It doesn't matter, guys. I don't care how egotistical it is. This entire process is selfish. There has to be an element of selfishness, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Before you can begin the process of disciplining your thoughts, you have to sit down and you have to think. There are so many of you who get on calls with our reboot strategists trying to make the decision to end your out of control behavior, but your ass hasn't sat down and written anything. Sometimes you'll be allowed in, sometimes you won't. Those that have enough pain will usually let you in, but the first thing I'm going to do with you, the moment you get on a call with me, the moment you get on a call with any of our coaches, Dr. Rankin, Dr. Eastman, Coach Milan, so we're going to be like, dude, you need to write down what it is that you want, why you want this. Once the why is figured out, you must now focus on it. You can't get distracted by life shit. You can't get distracted by your family saying, hey man, it's time to get married. If that is not part of your plan, then you do not get married. Hey dude, it's time for you to buy a house. Hey man, it's time for you to get a regular job. Hey, it's time for you to... Is that part of your what and your why? If it isn't, don't get distracted, because you're going to end up back there again, only with a more complicated life. Your life becomes a lot more complex, but you're still going to end up with the original problem that you were trying to escape. You're still going to have to face it. This is how you begin the process of disciplining your thoughts. Because when you know what you want, when you know why you want it, and when you have started to focus on it, you're not going to worry about behavior. Trust me on this. Everything is going to be happening internally. Reminding yourself, what is it that I want? Am I doing this? I have something on my wall right in front of me that says, you must do the most productive thing at every given moment. What are you doing right now? It's right in front of me. Why is it in front of me? It is in front of me because I value my time. I am getting older. I cannot get the past hour back. I have to relentlessly focus on the most productive things at this point in my life. That's what's important to me right now. And this is a mind thing. This is not a behavior thing. As long as I read that, as long as I remind myself, what are you doing? Oh, you're fucking around, JK. Time to focus on the most productive thing. I am good. The behavior automatically follows. Do you understand? Gentlemen, that's it.
Whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways that Porn Reboot can help you out for free. The first way is to subscribe to our channel and make sure that you click on the notification bell to get a new video every other day. The second way is to actually get a free copy of my book, Confessions of a Porn Addict, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men, where you'll learn about my personal struggle and the lessons I learned over the past 14 years, as well as get strategies for putting together your own personalized reboot plan and ending your compulsive behavior with pornography or masturbation. So click on the link in the description below this video to get the free ebook. And thirdly, if you're not sure where you'd like to start, but you'd like to learn more about my team and I, or you'd like to spend time with more like-minded professionals like entrepreneurs, business owners, men who work in sales or consulting or high-level jobs, men who are controlling their behavior, then join our free and confidential group, the Porn Reboot group on Facebook. There's also a link to join the group in the description below this video. And finally, if you need our help right now because you have a burning issue, it's an emergency. Your behavior with pornography is hurting you mentally. You're about to lose your relationship and you want to live up to your potential or be an authentic man and free yourself from shame, guilt, and underachieving, then click on the link in the description below this video that actually says free coaching call, or visit elevatedrecovery.org and click on the link which says book a call.